Hi witchlings, welcome back to my channel. It's me, your local chaotic witch aunt. Don't mind my eyes if they're puffy or red. It's because stop, hey, leave it. It's because I rubbed them and now they're red. Consequences of my own actions. I've been brainstorming this idea for a while now, and I think I'm gonna do it. And I'm not gonna tell you what it is until I'm sure that I have what I need for it. All I'm gonna say is, I was a warriorcats kid. I bet a lot of you guys were warriorcats kids. I do think about what the books, because I've forgotten most of them, if they're actually good. How they had such a hold on young me. How I was so engaged with them. Because they must have been interesting. They must have had good plot points. They must have had been creative, because I was obsessed with them. They must have, right? They must have had something there. They weren't just like crazy, weird. Like, there must be something that my little brain was like, this is delicious, right? And that is what we're doing. I am rereading the entire warriorcats series as an adult. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm gonna send this video to my mom because my mom was like hardcore there for this. I'm just doing the first 6 to start with. I don't want to take on too much or overwhelm myself or say oh, I'm gonna do all of it. But if this video does well, I'll keep going. I don't know if anyone's done this yet, but we'll see. So we're gonna go pick up the books today. And if Barnes & Noble doesn't have them, I'm gonna order them. Yeah. Let's do this. God, it's loud. I got the goods. They only had the first 3, and then the 6th one. And they changed the covers, which I know they did, but actually having it with the covers changed, wild. And then I picked up 19 Clothes and a Blackbird, which is Agustina Beztrica's new book, Beztrica. And the lady at the checkout was like, same reader? And I'm like, no, because this is nuts to see both of these on the same table and checking out. And I was like, but although this is what happens to warriorcats kids when they get older. So yeah, we're getting into it, hopefully today. But I'm gonna have to order the 2, the 4, and 5. And these, I'm guessing I'm gonna blow through these books really quick. But we'll see. Now we head home. We got the goods. I truly cannot believe that I'm doing this. So I have the first 3 books. They didn't have the 2, the 4 and 5. I guess she's still writing books. Because when I was there, I took a little video with my phone. There was a lot. I read up to The Power of 3, Omen of the Stars, then there's Dawn of the Clans. Wow. They definitely changed the things. So now they have these little backs that line up, which is kind of cool. I'm just gonna do Into the Wild first look. Oh my god, I forgot they had a map in here. I think they have clan lists too. Holy moly, yeah they do. Thunder Clan, we got, oh wait, Yellowfang is not in a clan right now. Oh wait, Shadow Clan, River Clan, Wind Clan. I love how there's just one name for these 2 because they're not important in this book. I also remember figuring out that Aaron Hunter was a bunch of people. Special thanks to Kate Carey. That means that Kate Carey wrote this book. It's wild. And I love that the little thing is Billy, who left our 2-leg home to become a warrior. He, I guess, ran away. And then for Benjamin, his brother, who is with him now in Star Clan. So I guess they both died, and that's who this book is dedicated to. Right off the bat, I'm trying to see if I remember how some of these people die. Or who dies. Redtail I don't think Red Tail's still around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a lot of cats in here. I can't believe they have a fully civilized, full civilization. Who's the medicine cat right now? Spotted Leaf. One of my favorite characters. I just love the differences in names between ThunderClan and ShadowClan. We got Darkstripe, White Storm, Lionheart, Running Wind, and in ShadowClan we have Stumpy Tail, Boulder, Clawface, Running Nose. Y'all did ShadowClan so fucking dirty. And then cats outside of clans. Firepaw is listed in here. So we already know how this is gonna go. You already know who's joining. But yeah, anyways, I'm really excited to start these bad boys up again. If I remember, the 3rd book is like incredibly sad. And the 6th book is back there. I remember the 3rd book being incredibly sad and the 4th book being, and the 4th or 5th book being my favorite. So we'll dive right into it and you'll hear from me when I have thoughts. First note, I'm on page 22 and Blue Star's already like, hey, you want to join our clan? And that is so wild. Literally this far in. I guess the book is like what? That book is like 263 pages. We're not even a quarter of the way in, so I feel like we're really getting thrown into this. It's a little quick for me. A little quick. I mean, the fast-paced life is nice. We're talking about getting neutered now. I love the words they use for human things. Like cutter instead of vet. It's so interesting. I mean, like, it's good writing. Definitely kids book, which is okay. I knew that going into it. Really engaging, really quick to read. I read this book several times when I was a kid, so everything is really familiar. It's not like anything crazy. I think that once I get into book 2 or book 3 or even 4, I'll probably be more surprised by things and not remember as much. But right now, real fast paced, not bad. Cannot believe that these authors were like, what would happen if we took a bunch of feral cats and made it a book? And they went real ham. World building, go brazy. It's sauce day, so I'm in the kitchen. But all I have to say is this is the most fast-paced book I've ever read. So Firepaw, Rusty, now Firepaw, was like, lost his collar, was accepted into the clan, and everyone was like, congrats, Firepaw. And 2 pages later, someone appears by himself in pain, and then it's like, someone's dead. 2 pages of action, and people are dead. I feel like I'm having a moment, like, of course I like this book as a kid. I had the attention span of a firefly. This caters to a very specific crowd. Love the world building so fucking quick. And I understand now why my writing style was the way it was for so long, because this is like boom, boom, bam, boom. And I'm like, I didn't even have time to process and we are already losing someone. All right. I didn't have any time to process and someone's already dead. I also love the usage of the actual terms that like represent how cats communicate, like caterwaul, yowl, mew, everything. They're utilized a lot. I give Aaron Hunter, okay, 6 people, a lot of kudos for that, personally. And they're trying to, I guess, take back, if I remember correctly, Red Tail. Okay, wait, Oakhart, now Ravenpaw says that Oakhart killed Red Tail. This guy's dying. He rolled in his head and he fell over. I don't think cats' eyes rolls back into their head. I think that's a human thing. Oh, and when I'm talking about a spotted leaf is hot. It's so funny. Cobwebs to stop bleeding. Okay, all I'm gonna say is everyone who liked the medicine cats and had like the medicine cat book, we're witches now. I'm not wrong. I can't be wrong. Oh my god. He literally just dragged a dead cat into here. I don't think that Oakhart killed Red Tail. I think I remember that not being accurate. Oh, and they're all grooming and purring him. I hate that they call grooming each other sharing tongues. I hate that personally as an adult. Tribe of heavenly warriors who watch over the clan cats. They got ancestors. These cats got ancestors. Fucking nuts. Page 44. Someone's already dead. Setting the scene. There's so much happening, dude. Oh my god. Anyways, I will be back later with more, I guess, comments. Hello witches, welcome back to me rereading the entire Warrior Cat series as an adult. I can't believe I'm fucking doing this. So far, I am like 100 pages into book 1. I remember reading it really fast as a kid too. I'm just a fast reader. I don't know why. I don't know what inspires my brain, but I can just read really fucking quick. So I'm not surprised that I'm blowing through it as an adult very quick. So far, I see the appeal. Okay, I didn't think I would. I thought I would read it and be like, this is so fucking stupid. And like the concept is so fucking stupid. I don't know why we were all like taken by clans of feral cats who are just dramatic. But we were, and I am now. So I don't know what they put in this book. Maybe it's crack. I swear, there have been books that I've read as an adult that I remember reading as a kid being like, this was really good. And I remember reading Warrior Cats and thinking it was very good. I thought it was my hyperfixation. I thought it was the fact that I was kind of weird as a kid. Kind of weird now, dude. But yeah, this is like the concept of colonies of feral cats having a fully developed civilization with like hierarchical structures and rules and codes. Insane. It's a fantasy book, but like, and it's really fucking smart. They came up with that, and every kid who liked cats, and then also a bunch of other kids were like, woo, I'm in. If I remember, I really liked the first and the second series. If this continues, if I continue reading this for you guys, I'll have to read, I will force myself to read all of it. I remember stopping at Omen of the Star. No, I stopped at Power of 3 because I was like, this is fucking stupid. Because I thought that it was like, I don't know, I thought cats having powers was a little much for these books. I think there's like more New Prophecy, Power 3, Omen of Stars, and then there's Dawn of the Clans. I saw a completely other series that was new called Starless Clans, and I'm like, I cannot believe they're still writing these. When did this come out? Like 10, 20 years? I was a kid, so 2003. It's been 20 fucking years and they're still writing these. What the f? The prophecies begin, the new prophecies, the Power of 3. That's where I stopped because I was like, I cannot believe that you guys gave these cats powers. Oh, and you know what? Hollyleaf died, and I was fucking upset about that. I was like, this is so stupid. I can't believe you just killed her off. Turns out she's not dead, but. And then Dawn of the Clans, which I guess is like how the clans came to be, and then that's it. So I don't know what that other series was that I saw. Hold on. Oh my god, yeah. It is the 8th arc. Does anyone still read these? Someone must be reading them if they're still writing. It's been 20 years since the big Warrior Cats, like, that I remember, like the big Warrior Cats thing, where everyone was reading it and everyone was really into it. And I wasn't, it was like maybe a couple of years. It was like the second series was still coming out. I'm an OG fan. Anyways, I'll continue reading and come back with any thoughts. I'm absolutely floored that this is still happening and that they're still actually churning out books. That is, I am an adult. Erin Hunter, look at me. I was your prime real estate as a child. I am 25. How are you still writing? I do not understand. Oh my god, I wonder if the Warrior Cats game is still up. Let me try and play that real quick. Hold on, wait. Let's do it. Let's see if it's there. So I finished the entirety of book 3 in like 1 day, 2 days. And I'm currently almost, that's my place, almost done with book 4. Here's a recap and my thoughts. I cannot believe this was my favorite book when I was a child. Cannot believe I supported Gray Stripe and Silverstring together. Also completely forgot that by the end of book 3, Tiger Claw's like treachery is known to everyone. Completely forgot about that. That kind of threw me for a loop because I was like, whoa, already? For some reason I thought it was happening in like books 5 or 6. No, book 3, Tiger Claw is a bitch. Once again, cannot keep track of how many cats have died. 1, 2, at the end of the book, Fireheart becomes deputy. Silverstream almost dies. I think Wind Clan and Shadow Clan find out that Thunder Clan is sheltering Broken Tail, aka Broken Star, and now they try to attack. And then after, there's like at least 3 attacks in this book. No, 2. Shadow Clan and Wind Clan are like, Broken Tail, you're sheltering a treacherous, murderous person. And then they attack, and then Tiger Claw leads a band of rogues trying to attack and kill Blue Star. And Fireheart comes in like, bro, what the fuck? And Silverstream has her kits and dies. And so now they have 2 River Clan, Thunder Clan kits. And at the end of the book, Gray Stripe's like, I'm gonna take him to River Clan and be with River Clan. Okay, Cloud Kit is now Cloud Paw. He's a little bitch. I'm trying to think what else happens. I feel like this book, once again, like all the other books, breakneck speed, breakneck. Rising Storm's a little better, a little slower. The main plot point in Rising Storm is now Fireheart is deputy. And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And also Blue Star's mental health is not in a great place. And Cloud Paw was eating food, like cat food from the 2 legs. And then he got captured and taken away. And so Fireheart was like, oh my god, we gotta go rescue him. And also Tiger Claw attacks and kills 2 cats, one from Shadow Clan and one from Thunder Clan, Running Wind, which I actually really liked that character. He didn't have a huge part, but you know. Oh, and in this book, the Fire talked to a River Clan cat to make sure that what Ravenpaw said about Tiger Claw was correct, and then they go see Tiger Claw because he's starting to really suspect Tiger Claw of treachery. There's a whole Wind Clan attack, and Tiger Claw just kind of sits there and looks at him. He thinks Cinderpelt's accident was caused by Tiger Claw, and he thinks a lot of shit. And he was right. He was right. And apparently him being right was not good for Blue Star, okay? Her mental health tanked. I did the mistake of browsing, you know, Wikipedia, yeah, and learning more about the later books that I never read, because I stopped reading at Power of 3, I think I said last time, maybe Omen of the Stars. I stopped reading because I was really talking with like my old babysitter about this. I was like, yeah, I mean the original ones very much felt like focus on cats and their interactions with other cats, or the clans and clan code and kind of treachery within that in a very mortal, mundane way. Turns out the later we get into the books, the more unhinged they become. So if you don't want to hear about that, please hit pause now, and if I read them, you'll get to see me react to it in real time. But I found out that the later books have not only a version of hell, there's hell, like, aka the Dark Forest, which is the place for cats who broke the warrior code. The place of no stars. There's warrior cat hell, Not only that, cats in Warrior Cat Hell can come out and possess other cats and then take other cats to the dark forest like it's a physical place. So I was reading this and I could not wrap my brain around it. I was like, I don't understand what that means, because there's apparently a point where someone gets possessed by a fucking cat spirit from the dark forest, and then when he gets killed, he gets sent back to the dark forest, but also the cat whose body he was inhabiting goes and he takes someone else with him. And I'm reading this and about this place, and it's like, elders have always talked about, you know, the place of no stress. No, they haven't. There's no mention in these first few books of any StarClan hell. All right, that's all I'm saying. Not in these 3, not in these first 6. All right, absolutely nothing. I'm actively reading them, and yeah, everyone's like, StarClan won't take this guy because he sucks and he's a traitor, but like there's no one being like, watch out, you're gonna go to the place with no stars if you don't start listening. Also, apparently StarClan has a council and they sit for every cat and decide if they go to StarClan hell or heaven. I wish they had stopped like 3 series in, because that is fucking unhinged. There's no like yeah, it's a fantasy book, but like it's so clear that they ran out of things to write and they just kept kind of going. And the other thing is, the cat who possesses the other cat, the one from the dark forest, he's alive right now. He exists in these books, and then he comes back 4 series later. And you know why? He's so petty. He's like, this cat didn't love me. Okay, like he was not a great person. We know this, but damn, dude. He's literally just was born. He's gonna be alive for the next 2 series. And 4 series later comes back and he possesses someone. Why not Tiger Claw? The big bad. Like, this is just, this character is just so, he's not great, but he's so innocuous. He doesn't really do anything. So, yeah, I have thoughts. I'm thoroughly enjoying reading these despite them being so quick-paced, because it just, you know, nostalgia. I'm enjoying it. They're not bad books. Let me say that much. The first 6, the ones I've read, they are not bad books. They are definitely well written. They're well thought out. A lot of creativity and a lot of time was put behind them. Can I say the same for the ones that are coming out now? I don't know, but the vibe is no. I don't know. It definitely feels like, I remember as a kid reading the ones where like the cats had superpowers. I was like, okay, you very clearly ran out of shit to write. Because this is like, there's been no mention of anything along the lines of the major plot points in the later books. So they just were made up later. Because like, yeah, of course StarClan's not gonna take these guys, but no one ever said anything about hell, baby. So it feels very much like it's treated like this has always been, well, at least the Wikipedia page was very much like, this has always been something the clan cats knew about. And I'm like, the clan cats may have, but we didn't. And that's the thing. It doesn't count if the characters know about it, but we don't. Because that just feels like sloppy writing. I know these are kids' books, okay? I know I'm being critical, but the young obsessed warrior fan in me requires me to be critical of my childhood interest, right? Because these first 6, 10 out of 10, they're so good. They're really good. They're like really quick paced, yeah. That's for all the little people with like attention deficit issues, including me. And I mean, do you get attached to characters? Yes, but not in the way that there's so many characters that it's impossible to feel fondly for more than a few of them. Like, if Graystripe died, I'd be like, oh, that's sad. moving on. And I think that's one of the major faults with the books is, and I mean, if you get really into it, I'm sure, and especially when you read for so long with these characters, then you feel upset about it. But like, there's just so many that like when someone dies, you're just like, oh, darn. But not a lot of them have a major role in the books, so you just kind of are like, huh, okay. Sorry to hear that. It's not, like I said, not bad books. I don't know what they did to them to make them so engaging for children. I mean, I definitely am engaged and I'm an adult. I think that the mix of really quick pace, really interesting concept, and something so familiar but unfamiliar is really big. I think because it's like, yeah, of course I would want to know what all these stray cats are doing. I love the idea of a bunch of stray cats organizing a clan and having a whole society with ancestors. It's not too fictional and fantasized to the point where it feels like incredulous at this point, but later we know it does. I just kind of, I mean, I think there's a mix of like fast pace, something familiar but unfamiliar, and whatever anyone says, this was such a good concept. These first 6 books, there's just, it's so intricate and so thought out that like you have to give the Aaron Hunters a little bit of credit there, because would I have been able to come up with this? No. It's just such a crazy, like, damn, they did, like, it's very creative, very crazy concept, and ooh, butterfly. And I think that at the very least owes credit where credit is due. And I'm just speaking for the first 6 books right now. I haven't read on past that. I haven't even finished the first 6. I'm gonna keep reading. I think there's a fire in this book. They're setting the stage for it because of how hot it is, but we'll see. Keep you updated. So, I finished the first series. When I say that I literally read books 4 through 6, so 4, 5, and 6, starting Friday and ending last night, Tuesday night, I read them in 5 days. I really was like, I should be filming, but I was so engaged with the material. I was so engaged with the story that I could not put them down. I'm like, I have to finish this. I will say it, Darkest Hour made me cry a couple times just because they really pulled out all the cats that had died in the past. $5 to show up. And I was like, why did you do this? There was a lot in this book and in the book before that I completely forgot about. I completely forgot that Blue Star, basically end of book 3 all the way up to when she dies, is inconsolable and just not there as a leader. I completely forgot about that. It was so frustrating to read, and knowing that like nothing was gonna help her and she was probably gonna die soon. She was at the end of her last life. I knew Yellowfang died, but this is not a spoiler for your review. I knew Yellowfang died. I completely forgot the way that she died. Also fucking terrible. And then I had completely forgotten that entire, like, the whole Tiger Clan arc. I knew there was a battle between Tiger Star and Firestar in the Darkest Hour. Like, I remembered that there was something happening there, and I kind of remembered the whole Scourge thing. Scourge, whatever. Sharp Claws, Tiny Cat. I remembered bits and pieces of that. Completely blocked out the fact that Tiger Star went full, if you have a parent from 2 clans, we're gonna kill you because you're not pure-blooded. Blocked that shit out. Blocked out the entire Bone Hill. Horrifying. Terrible. And blocked out the whole, like, Tiger Clan thing. There was a lot that I, just blocked out from my childhood years, and I think that's so funny. because definitely rereading them as an adult, I'm like, I can't believe I read these are like kids books. Like I know why they are. Like there is a concept, like definitely kids books, but they're really fucking brutal. They're so brutal. Like it is nuts to like hear about a bunch of fucking cats dying for 6 books, and then like it's just like gruesome and brutal, and like I don't know, I think it's so wild. Like they're definitely kids books, they're very fast paced, the characters for the most part are very lovable, but like Tiger Star standing on a pile of bones saying that cats who aren't pure blooded need to die, I don't have any words for that. That's like wild. Teaching us real young that that narrative is bad. It was like I say this, like books 1 through 3, I was like, okay, you know, pretty chill. 3 on, shit gets fast, shit gets hard, unrelenting. Like absolutely no slowing down. There's shit happening every 3 minutes. It's like you cannot physically, as an adult, semi-remembering what was gonna happen, I could not put it down. I had to keep going. I went 4, 5, 6, no breaks.
No sleep, bus, club, another club, another club.
I was like so engaged with it, which I think is crazy because they are like the first series, at least it's a really good book. It gets really intense and really gory and gruesome and brutal, but I really recommend rereading it. Not just for the fact that it's a quick read, they're kind of fun, they deal with a lot of really interesting themes, but just because it's so entertaining, it's so engaging. It's impossible to, in my opinion, after book 5 say, you know what, I don't want to know what happens. You're like, where the f is book 6? All the way up to the last page in book 6 is like, this entire book, The Darkest Hour, is back to back to back to back stuff. Like there is no slowing down, no stopping. This is like, this book makes up for any dull moments in 4 and 5, any slow moments, anything where you're like, oh, this is kind of dragging on, which there wasn't a lot of. I don't know how they fit everything in, what is this? Like 300 pages? It is insane. It is crazy. It is like, oh my God. I am definitely gonna continue reading them, whether or not you guys want to hear about my experiences with them. I remember, like I said, like in the past, I remember getting to the 3rd series and putting them down because I didn't feel like they were really fun or relatable anymore. I think that these books, to an extent, are relatable. Like, and I know that sounds weird, like how can I relate to Cats in the Forest, but like the main character spends his entire 6 books doubting himself, feeling like he doesn't belong because he was originally like a house cat, literally like trying to prove himself as loyal, and all of these kind of things that I feel like, at least when I was reading them, I understood that. Like, it's something that I think a lot of kids who are reading this book are dealing with, because everyone at some point or another has that feeling of I don't belong, I don't fit in, I have to prove myself to everyone around me. And even though it's in a completely different setting and it's fantasy and fictionalized, you are sitting with this cat through 6 books. You're seeing the way other characters treat him just because of where he came from, and then you're also seeing him slowly prove himself to the point where he was an apprentice all the way up to a leader. And it's like this, it's genuinely like hero's journey type deal. It's like a really interesting book for a kid's book, because when you're older and maybe you're not dissecting it as much as I am, but you're like, yeah, there's a lot here. Like, if you get past the concept, the whole like half clan cats being treated differently or their loyalties tested just because of their parentage, feeling like you have to prove yourself, all this kind of like, and like respect for elders and ancestors, which is wild. it's all in here. Respect for the young, respect for the old, respect for rules that your community upholds, and respect for your ancestors. That's literally the general theme of the book. And then there's just one cat that you're like going through and you hear how much this cat doubts himself and feels not good enough through the entirety of the book. And then you get to the end and he gets his 9 lives from all the cats from book like 1, who died in book 1, all the way up to book 5, anyone who died. And it's like, you're crying. Cause wow. It's over. The series itself, the first 6 books, I can speak for, like, yes, it's fast paced. Yes, it's gruesome and brutal, and at some points you're like, I don't know who that was or why they died. And sometimes you're like, that cat's sad. But like, there's a lot in there that's really engaging material even as an adult, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting to read this book and be like, oh, this is like totally a kid's book, I really don't like it. And no, it's really good. It's really good. It's worth a reread. At least the first 6 books. I'm glad I have copies now. I can reread them whenever I want, experience it all over again. Because like, as you kind of are around the same group of characters from 1 to 6, you just start like getting attached to them. And I think that's part of it is, no, maybe there's not a lot of like character building for background characters, but there is a lot of time spent with them. So when they die, you inevitably get upset. It's really smart because I'm like, I didn't even know this character. I didn't even know anything about them and they're dead and now I'm sad. It's smart fucking writing. So I really like this one. It has to do a lot with ideas of loyalty, ideas of respect, ideas of like fitting in and belonging and being torn between 2 places. And even furthermore, ideas of like what is not okay when it comes to how you behave. Sitting on a pile of bones, not cool, guys. Fucking read it and I was like, wow, we really went for the pure-blooded. Half-clan cats need to die. Jesus Christ, did not hold back there. At least he's dead. He got killed. But yeah, horrifying to read that and be like, oh, I blocked that out. It's definitely wild rereading it. It definitely brings back a lot of nostalgia. I remember feeling upset, I think, because the next book doesn't actually continue on with Firestar as the narrator. It changes to a different character. Same with Power of 3 and Omen of the Stars. And then I guess the next ones are there. I don't know what happens past like Power of 3. I have no clue. So if I keep reading, I only know kind of the next series and half of the next series, and then we're going wading in. And I think as an adult, I'll probably be able to iterate why I maybe stopped reading as a kid, or really kind of understand that in a way that I think that child me didn't understand. I understood I stopped liking the books, but not in the way that it was like, oh, I'm not interested anymore. Like, something about them changed in Omen of the Star, in Power of 3, something changed, or in Omen of the Star is one of those. Something changed that made me stop reading, and I was being obsessed with these books, so it's wild to me that that happened, and I don't know why. So I think no matter what you guys want to see, I'm probably gonna continue reading, just because they're kind of nice to sit down at the end of the day and get kind of taken away by this. Like, it's very engaging. You really can lose yourself in the book in a way that's like really nice. So I'll probably get the next 3-ish books and continue on. But I think the first 6 will probably always be, they'll always be that place. Like, I wish I had the old covers, because I remember seeing like so much of the stuff on the old covers, like a major plot point, and then you finally got through the book and understand what it meant. And I do really miss the old covers. I wish they didn't change them. I wish you didn't have to pay like a shit ton of money on Amazon to get the old covers. I really enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. I really thought I was gonna go into this and not like them. I really thought that I was gonna go into it and be like, oh, this is not a good book. It's good. And I say that as an adult, and I think part of that is probably like 20% nostalgia of like, of course I love them now, I love them when I was a kid, and the rest is like, I actually couldn't put this book down, which is so, once again, so wild as an adult to read a kid's book and be like, tell me what happens next. I think that Erin Hunter could have totally stopped right here and done, and it would have been perfect. But no, she kept going and going and going and going. And I think that to me was one of the major flaws that continued, is because the more you read, the more convoluted and confusing everything became, the more it felt like things were being thrown in just for a plot point at that point, but there was no mention of it. Oh, by the way, remember when I said there was a StarClan hell? The only mention of it I found in this book, and it wasn't even a mention, it was a cat dies. Darkstripe dies, and all he says is there's nothing left. It's all dark. Everything's gone. That is the only part that I was like, oh, that could be a Dark Forest StarClan hell reference. Like the Place of No Stars. That could be that. That is it. Everyone else, there's nothing. And I know that that's a big thing in the later books, apparently. So I was like, one line that could be as evidence of a plot point later. Well, I'll go pick up the other books today. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna see what happens. If you want to continue hearing about my journey, let me know. I'll keep making videos. If not, hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to drink water. If you want, you can like, subscribe, and comment, but absolutely no pressure. And have a great rest of your day. Siate benedetti.